Which of these two look easiest to you? Okay, today we are going to talk about charge ports and why it is one of the most important things with electric vehicles. Why is the charging port important? Well, there are many reasons for it being important, and in my opinion it's one of the most important things of an electric car. And I'm going to explain why. It is important with a good charge port that's easy to open, easy to close, easy to release the charge cable, and the reason for that is that you do it every day, or at least that's the intention of an electric car. You have a home charger, you plug it in every night and you charge it to 80% or 100% in some cases overnight for it to be ready for you the next day. It is a motion that you do every day. And when the intended purpose is that you do this every day, every millisecond counts, in my opinion. So, along with plug-in charge, route planning and other things that I think are important in an electric car, charge port design is also super important. So we have different designs. We have manual charge ports, we have electric charge port, we have slow charge ports, we have fast charge ports. We have these covers that protect the plugs. We have some that don't have the covers that protect the plugs. And we have whole different locations for the charge port. I'm not going to go over the locations of the charge ports this video. That's for another day. And I have some opinions on that as well. So it matters due to the daily interaction that you do with the charge port. So let's start with a manual charge port, like on this BMW i3. You press and it opens. It actually has an electronic latch, but it works in the same way as any other manual charge port. I have tried this on the ID Bus, on the F-150 Lightning and on many other electric cars, and I have owned it for a significant amount of time. And the benefits of a manual charge port is that the mechanical latch, it at least gives you the feeling that you don't rely on anything electronic to open the charge port. For example, the 12-volt battery needs to be active to release an electronic charge port, but a manual charge port you can just plug in yourself. But keep in mind that a 12-volt charge is also needed to initiate the charge anyways. But let's talk about reliability. In my opinion, I have not had any issues with my electronic charge port on my Tesla, for example, and not on the BMW i3, which has the electronic latch like I talked about. In general, it should be more reliable with a mechanical lock than it's more things that can go wrong with an electronic latch, especially that the car decides when to open. For example, if it's covered in ice and stuff like that, but I haven't had the problem with the Tesla one. And you know, I've driven a Tesla 100,000 kilometers in rough conditions, the worst conditions that there are, completely iced down car. And of course you need to scrape off, and then you might need to press a few times to get the electronic latch to open, but it would be kind of similar procedure if the charge port was manual as well. Some people like a manual, some like electronic. For me, they are side by side in the regard of reliability from my experience. And of course, the problem with an electronic charge port is of course that the car decides when it is time for it to open. So if you don't, if the buttons break or stuff like that, you might not be able to open. But that's not the problems I have had with electronics charge port. The problems I have had with electronics charge ports is the speed of it. It's so slow to open in some cases. Not the Tesla one, but other designs. And when you have a slow electronic charge port, I'd rather just have a manual one, because it's much faster for me to open and then plug in. A benefit of the electronic charge port is that I can easily press a button on this remote controlled charging cable to get it to open and then plug in. It is much faster than any manual charge port, and it saves me a lot of time because an electric vehicle is designed to be plugged in every night, or at least very often. So it is much more important that the procedure is fast for daily use. The remote control doesn't work on non-Tesla chargers, but like you can see here, I just pull in, I press the charge port, it opens before a blink of an eye, just as fast as a manual one, and I'm ready to plug in. So it works very nice. Let's jump over to the BMW i3 and talk a little bit about what I don't like. These charge port covers suck. They are just in a way, they get in the paint. Yes, you can just put it up on the side to not touch the paint, but they suck. They are the worst. I wish every manufacturer just removed these immediately. Most have done it so far. And yeah, I actually went as far as to just remove them myself and install some other type of protection. Because this charge port isn't completely weatherproof, so it is a benefit with some kind of protection here. With the Tesla one, I haven't had any issues with stuff getting into the charge port, and yeah, I don't feel the needs for this extra protection, which is an extra daily step every time you plug in. So yeah, I wish everyone just removed these charge port covers. Let's talk a little bit about how to design a charge port. You need it to be fast. That's the most important. Doesn't matter if it's manual, doesn't matter if it's electronic, it needs to be fast to open. Some electronic charge ports, like I mentioned, are very slow, and that sucks. The second thing is that I would rather have the exposed DC and AC pins once you open the charge port. I don't want extra caps to remove and stuff like that. And the reason I installed these extra caps, which are these pull-out tabs, which some manufacturers use, like BMW in their newer EVs use this type of system. It is better than having these plugs that you put in, much better, but they're still annoying. I'd rather have a proper weatherproof manual or electronic latch on the car. So in daily use, the Tesla is the fastest car that I have tried to plug in. It saves me the most amount of time daily. I have not had any problems with the charge port. It has been completely frozen over. I have had no issues with the electronic charge port. I think the Tesla one is a good design. The second best is probably a manual charge port where at least the AC pins, and I'd like the DC pins to be exposed as well, so it is faster on road trips. No need to pull down the flap. And for accessibility, the Tesla one wins as well. There are no competition when it comes to accessibility. I can do it with one hand and an easy press of the button. With a manual charge port, you need to open it first and then get over to the charger if you want to do it with one hand, or you can hold the cable and do it with two hands by pressing the manual charge port, of course. So that's just my feedback to manufacturers. Please design good charge ports that's fast to open, fast to plug in, because it's something you do daily. It's not like a gas cap where you fill up once a week, once every 2 weeks, maybe once a month. You do this every day. They need to be fast. These plugs that you see on the BMW i3 suck. And shame on manufacturers that still use these plugs. At least move over to something that's faster to deal with. It is so much more important than it seems. Thank you so much for watching my rant. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave any comments. What do you think? Do you think I'm stupid for saying the Tesla one is the best one? Or do you think that's the best design that's out there yet? Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos like this and videos that are not like this, you can subscribe to this channel. I see a lot of people that watch my videos that don't subscribe, so please leave any feedback in the comments and I'll try to improve.